Alright, so far this year there's been a lot of talk about slope so far, and when we started talking about slope, you guys actually told me a lot about y equals mx plus b. So of course we know the slope is the m, and the b is equal to the y-intercept. So now we're going to start to apply those things. So we're going to do a couple things today. We're going to use the slope and the point to be able to write the equation, or if we're given just plain 2 points, so of course we'd have to go through and find the slope first. But let's step through these then. So I'm going to write the equation of the line. So in the end I do have to have the equation of a line with a slope of 1/2, negative 1/2. So m equals negative 1/2. And the point, so 8, negative 1, that has to be x and y. Alright, so let's give this a try. So we know the equation again is y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in everything that I know. Everything that I know is m. So I have negative 1/2 for m. Right next to that being multiplied is 8. That's x. b is what I don't know. It should be equal to negative 1 to do this correctly. Alright. So we plugged everything in. Half of 8 is 4, and we'll make it negative 4. Plus b equals negative 1. We're going to add 4 to both sides. b is equal to 3. b equals to 3 is not an equation of a line though. So what we have to do is finish that up and say the slope was negative 1/2 x. So my negative 1/2 plus 3. So that should be my final answer. That is the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. We'll try that all over again. So y equals mx plus b. So when you get better at that, you'll plug things right in. You won't write this part every time, but for right now, since we're just getting practice, we'll do that. So we know y is 5, m is equal to 2, so we have 2, x is 1, plus b. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus b equals 5. And using our solving skills, we'll subtract 2. b equals 3. Do I have the equation of a line though? The answer is no. I don't have an equation of a line until I say y equals, the slope was 2x plus 3. Only once I have the equation of a line have I answered the question. Alright, so we'll go through. Y equals mx plus b. Y is 7, negative 3, x is 0, plus b. Now with x being 0, I know anything times 0 is 0. So I get 0 plus b equals 7, and I get b equals 7. Well, I should have figured that out right here when they gave me 0, 7. That means b equals 7. So if I start to see that, I'm going to understand I have a little bit of a shortcut that I can use to get to my equation. So instead of doing all this work, I could have realized that right away and wrote y equals negative 3x plus 7. There's nothing wrong with doing the work in here, but again, as we move up in our math scale, we want to find shortcuts. We want to realize some trends that if I have 0 for my x value, they're giving me the y-intercept, or the b value. Alright, 2 points this time, so we'll make something up. So if we use something like 3, 4, and negative 1 and 5. So 2 points this time just means I need to come up with a slope first. So this is what we did the last few days. So we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if I use 5 minus 4, so 5 minus 4, if I started with 5, I'm going to use negative 1. So negative 1 minus 3. So I'll have 1 over negative 4. So this is now my slope. All I need to write the equation is one of these ordered pairs. It doesn't matter which one I use, positive or negative. I'm just going to choose the second one. So now we're using y equals mx plus b. I know m is negative 1/4. I know x is negative 1 plus b. The y value is 5. And again, it doesn't matter which ordered pair I use. I just have to use one completely. And let's bump this up. Oop, not that far. So this is going to give me negative times a negative is positive 1/4 plus b equals 5. I need to get rid of 1/4 using my solving skills from earlier in the year. So b is equal to 4 3/4. Again, I don't have a final answer until I put the equation of a line down. So y equals, my slope was negative 1/4 plus 4 3/4. Alright, now they're going to do some tricky things to try and get me to understand what it means if I have an x-intercept. X-intercept of negative 3 simply means negative 3 and 0, and a y-intercept of 5, well, I get a y-intercept when x is 0, so 0 and 5. So I still have to go through find slope, so we're going to use y2, so I might start with 5 minus 0, so 5 minus 0, that means I have to start with 0 minus negative 3. So I get a slope of 5 and 3, so 5/3. Now, if I use my noggin just a little bit, they told me the y-intercept is 5. So if I find a slope of 5/3, I can write my equation. Y equals 5/3 x plus y-intercept of 5. Okay. I don't have to go through the second part and find out what b is. They told me right here the y-intercept is 5. So if we try that again, let's use x-intercept of 12 and a y-intercept of, let's say, negative 3. So right now I know I'm going to have y equals something x minus 3. Y-intercept of negative 3. So I can already plug that in. So a nice shortcut when they give that to us. X-intercept of 12, that means 12, 0. And 0, negative 3. So again, I'll just start with negative 3 minus 0, just finding the slope first. Negative 3 minus 0, that means 0 minus 12. So I have negative 3 over negative 12, which will reduce. It's a negative divided by a negative, so we get positive. So 1/4 is my slope. So 1/4. And again, they gave me the y-intercept, so I'm not solving anything there. And so we can make some ordered pairs. After 40 games, had 45 runs batted in, and after 86 games, had 87 runs batted in. So we're going to write the linear equation. So do a couple things here. Okay, so we'll let x represent the number of games, y represent the numbers of runs batted in. We're going to write the equation of the line. So we're just going to use these two ordered pairs. So we have to find the slope first. So if I use 87 minus 45, and I use 86 minus 40, I get 840 over 23 plus b equals 45. So we'll say this is ballpark at 36.52 plus b equals 45, and subtract that 36.52. So we get 8.47. We continue to round. So again, we need to plug this back in together with our slope. So y equals 21 over 23x plus 8.47. Then we can predict at any game how many RBIs, or home runs Mark McGwire would have had that season.